DFSC World Middleweight Champion, Richie Robinson from the UK.
Right, welcome back to the competition series. My name's Richie Robinson. I'm going to be standing here talking to you for the next 5 to 7 minutes or until you get bored. Homework from last time was to go look at a competition, okay, and trying to get it the whole way through. We're going to cover that in a little minute and talk to you about why. First things first, just talk about where I'm at. 2 weeks later down the line, I am half a kilo lighter, okay? How this worked, as I said to you last time, I was up to 83.3 and I had to put in a tweak in my diet no matter what, okay? I put the tweak in and I went down to 82.5 kilos, right? That was in 1 week, so I had a 8.8 of a kilo drop, but in reality I went up 0.3 and then came down. But because I had lost the weight, that means that week, no tweaks for me. Brilliant, okay, didn't have to cut any more food or do any more exercise. That's the way I like it. Weighed in last week though, and exactly the same, okay, this week, sorry, weighed in and exactly the same, so I will have to add in 1 tweak for next week. Only weighed in this morning, so I haven't quite decided what it'll be yet, but I will write it down below, take a scroll down, and I'll let you know exactly what I've decided. I think I'll probably get rid of a bit of food because I'm still eating quite a bit, and to be honest, I can't be bothered doing any exercise in the morning yet, so that's how this works, okay? So, that's where I'm up to and that's what I'm doing. Like I said, starting to look a little bit leaner. I've gone through a really crappy in-between stage that you will do where you start losing what you think is size. So you feel small, but you're not getting tight. So you just feel small and tight, hence why you haven't seen much of me before. Whereas now I'm actually starting to look like I've maybe lifted a weight in my life. Starting to feel better about it. And that's just, you're starting to harden into the physique. You start to lose the body fat and you start to see results. So it happens to all of us, but that's why we do the tweaks. You only change one thing once a week. You monitor your strength, you monitor your food, and you don't worry about it. Because if you start listening to what goes on up here, you will cock it up, okay? You will start making changes every day, because some mornings you wake up, we all do it. You look in the mirror and go, hey, check me out, I'm Superman today. This is going really well, I'll add in more food. Other days you look up and you go, God, I'm scrawny, I'm small. I need to eat more, I need to do more. You can't start listening to what this says, because if you go by instinct, you end up looking like everybody else. We don't want to do that. We're taking the scientific approach. So we do our tweak, we monitor our strength, and that's the only time that we change anything during the week, is if our strength drops off for 4 workouts, we need to change it there and then. But if that doesn't happen, we ride it out, we weigh ourselves in, and we wait for the week after, okay? Now, back to the homework. Homework was to take a look at a competition. Quite frankly, you're probably watching this because this is your first time doing a comp. I strongly recommend you go and watch a competition. I know that sounds silly, but a lot of people turn up and the first competition they've ever seen is the one they're in, okay? You don't expect to go and play football without never having seen a football match in your life, okay? You don't expect to turn up on the pitch and know the rules and regulations, and more importantly, know the best way to perform, okay? You have to know the sport. Bodybuilding is a sport. It is not a get big, walk on stage and look a mess competition, okay? How you present yourself is half the battle, okay? There's no point spending 2 years training your ass off, spending anywhere between 3-4 months dieting, okay, feeling like crap, to stand up there and make a fool out of yourself because you didn't realize it's a sport and it's about presenting the best physique on stage, okay? So hopefully you actually took a look at a video, or if not, try and go and see one. The reason I said to you is try and watch the whole thing is you'll notice that I'm talking about main bodybuilding competition. There are 3 rounds, okay? The quarter turns, the mandatories, the compulsories, okay? And then the evening show, or your routine. Now, the bit that everybody comes and asks me about is the routine. Yes, it's important, yes, it's good. But out of the 3 rounds, it is the least important one that you actually have to worry about, okay? Whenever you first come on stage, you got to remember you're being judged from the second you walk on, okay? So that impression that you make whenever you walk on stage is of utmost importance. If you walk on head down, looking like this, feeling really uncomfortable. That's what's projected, okay? You need to walk on stage being confident that you know what you're doing and you know how to present yourself. You've got the 4 quarter turns. We're talking about guys, girls, you can have best pose from the front, best pose from the rear, or you can do quarter turns depending on which category you're doing. But we're talking about round 1, okay? Now, round 1, they say the relaxed poses. Are they rubbish? Okay, they're about looking your best. They're the ones that you should have been practicing over the last 2 weeks. Why am I getting you to do those first? Quite frankly, they are one of the most important rounds, okay? That's the first impression that you make to the judges. If the judge doesn't like what they see at that point, you're out of the running, okay? Because after that round, they bring you out. They may do comparisons on the quarter turns, but if you're not in that first call out, you can be darn sure that you're not being considered for the top 3, okay? So whenever you first walk on stage and you do those first 4 quarter turns, they can be the difference between getting in the top 6 and being in the rest of the field. That's how important they are. You have to make that impression. Second round is your mandatories, okay? For guys, your 11 poses. Again, girls, it depends which competition you're in and which class you're doing. That's the research you need to do. Now, whenever you get called out into that first call out, because that's where we want you to be, okay? It can be 4, it can be 6 in the call out, depending on how the head judge sees it. Where they line you up, remember it's the head judge that calls you out, okay? But, so where they place you isn't necessarily where the other judges have you, it's where the head judge has you. So don't worry if you're 2nd or 3rd in the call out, okay? That's just where the head judge is putting you. You want to be in that first call out. Your mandatories, or your quarter turns are what put you in that first call out. Once you're in that call out, then you start doing your front double biceps, your front lat spread, okay? That's where you're fighting for those top 6 places, okay? You fought to get into that, now you're fighting for your position. And you gotta remember, this is a fight. Everybody up there, this isn't a game. You wanna win, you have to go out there. You have to make it look like it's easy, that it's relaxed, that you're enjoying yourself, but you have to show your physique to the best of your ability. The only way you can do that is to start practicing posing now. Hence why I got you to do the 4 before. Next homework, I'm going to get you to do the first 3 of your mandatories. So your front double bicep, front lat spread, and side chest, okay? That's your homework for next week, but you have to be able to nail them, okay? After that, you either do your evening show, depending on which federation you're in, or they bring you all back on again and you do individual routine. But by then, your individual routine can only maybe move you 1 place, okay? 2 places if you're lucky. But it's those poses you do beforehand that make all the difference, okay? They're the ones that get you into the top 3, the top 5, and that's where you want to be. So that's how important it is to actually look at competitions. Rant over by me, okay? The second thing that I want you to do for homework is to take a look at our body fat chart again. I know I sent that to you 2 weeks ago because we are now 12 weeks out. This is where most people start dieting. But I've been dieting for 8 weeks. Hopefully you've been dieting for 6, okay? So you should already have an extra 50% of dieting done, okay? I'm 8 weeks. I'm actually a couple of weeks ahead, I think, of where I need to be. How do I know that? Take a look at the body fat chart, okay? I'm gonna tell you what I run through. Whenever I'm looking at someone to determine what level of body fat there are, if we start up the upper end of the scale, 18 to 20%, okay, you're basically looking how much abdominal fat, oblique fat, and back fat they're carrying, okay? Boobs on guys, boobs and girls, okay? What size they are. Now, once you start coming down and you're getting closer to competition stage, we have to start looking at specific areas. Whenever I'm judging a competition, it's how I know whether someone is in shape or not, okay? It's certain areas I look at. Okay, so again, we've got lower abs, okay? Serratus anterior, obliques. Take a look at yours. Take a look at the body fat chart. Where are you at, okay? Next part I start looking at whenever I'm getting a little bit leaner is the tie-in here, okay? If you can see, the bicep sort of tie-in. Whenever I bring that up, we're starting to see a gap now between the actual bicep and the arm, okay? If that's nice, big and full, then that's carrying body fat in that area. So whenever people start to lean up, so you can start to see the cut and the tie-in, that's the next little bit I'm looking at. Next bit after that is the delt and the pec tie-in, okay? You start to get leaner actually up in through your tie-in. You'll start to see a nice little divot coming in your pec area, okay? This is the next little bit that I'm looking at. Then we've Next bit that I'm looking for is the serratus anterior. Whenever you tense in, are you actually able to see the sides? Okay, see the serratus anterior. Next bit depends whether you're a front loader or a back loader, okay? For me, my lower back, I might show you next week if I'm feeling particularly in good shape. Okay, my lower back, it looks competition ready about 16 weeks out. Whereas for me, I always hold the last bit of fat here. Other people, genetically predisposed to be the other way around. They look like they've got a 6-pack of abs 10 weeks out, 12 weeks out. That can be your downfall, because if you're standing there going, hey, look at me, I'm ripped, I've got a 6-pack, but you're carrying all your fat on your back, yeah, you look good from the front. You turn around, compare against somebody else that's in good shape, bang, you're out of there. You have just been dropped down 5 places, okay? So, decide whether you're holding your fat there or fat there, okay? So, for me, fat on the front. Once I've got the tie-ins of the arm, tie-in of the shoulder, serratus anterior and my obliques coming through, the next bit I'm looking for is below the belly button, okay? And I'm starting to look for major cuts in the legs. Last little bit, glutes, okay? Everyone holds this here last, in the bottom, between the hamstring and the glute tie-in, okay? That's the last bit that anyone's fat's going to come off. Genetically, that's just where we're told to hold it. Whenever that's through, you know you're in shape, you know you're ready to go. But you do not want to see that until about 2 to 4 weeks out, okay? If you get there any sooner, you need to pull back in the diet. So, at the moment, like I said, my arms are through nicely here, pecs starting to come in. I'm about 8 weeks out, but I'm actually 12 weeks out, so I've got 4 weeks to play with. So for me, lucky days, okay? So don't forget, homework. Practice your quarter turns, practice your next 3 poses. So for guys, it's going to be front double bis, front lat spread, side chest. Girls, best pose in the front, side chest, whatever one your federation tells you to do, okay? Take a look at your body fat chart. Come back next week and we'll discuss whether you're too far out, too far in, and how this body fat chart relates to you. Don't forget, like up here, subscribe down there, and scroll down, you'll get my information on what I'm currently dieting on, what I'm currently training on, and what tweak I decide to do. Apart from that, see you in 2 weeks. I'm at 10 minutes CV every night, and I'm putting in 10 minutes posing. So every night, I'm going to be practicing my posing. I want to try and get muscle memory. Also, when you start posing, okay, whenever I take people through posing class as well,